Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Raveen, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Ink Thoughts podcast. How are you doing, Andrew?
Hello, Verena. I'm just beside you. It just feels so weird because you're saying. Normally when you're saying that we're calling through Discord and all that because, ever since we started, it was the COVID pandemic era, so we had to call it online, and then during that period it was quite unfortunate as well. Before that we would have just recorded it offline, but then it was during that particular period where Malaysia was back in lockdown again last year, and then after that we did have one face-to-face call when we
Face-to-face call?
face-to-face podcast recording, because that time we were at Airbnb and all that. That's why we were able to do that. But then after that, I went to UK. That's why we couldn't do that anymore. And ever since I came back from UK, the first week was because I got. The first week is actually because we're just celebrating your birthday, and then I kind of forced you. No, I kind of hinted you to not record a podcast so that I can proceed with my surprise thing, and then the second week I had COVID, and then I forgot what happened on the few subsequent week. But then last week we went to Penang, and then we just didn't feel like recording it. That's why we didn't. And by this stage, we cannot afford not to record one anymore, because next week we desperately need a podcast. So all of our backup have been used up. So this is rarely quite a recent episode. That's why, luckily that we're doing it face to face again this time, which is a bit weird. Because we have never done it in this way, because previously we are doing it more of a what do I call that? Instagram live thing. So it was different, but then this time we are actually looking at a small laptop screen and then talking towards the mic. So what happened last week? Actually now I'm going back to the topic. What happened last week? Nothing much. I came back from Penang. It was quite nice. Penang is a nice place. It's great to be back to Malaysia, enjoying the cheaper prices and the great Asian food. But then of course I don't like the weather. The weather is very hot, even though some
super hot.
Yeah, some would say that UK is quite cold, and then it's quite the UK weather is quite unpredictable. But then I guess you can say the same for Malaysia. Unpredictable as in, like, it can get really, really hot and humid, and then sometimes it can just have heavy downpour where you literally can't step foot outside because you'll be drenched, not in sweat, in rainwater. Drenched in rainwater. Unlike in UK, even though it's unpredictable, sometimes the sun, sometimes it's raining, but then even with the rain, when you go outside, it's actually okay. Like, the heaviest rain in UK is probably 30%. The heaviest rain in Malaysia, I think that's how it's like. So but over the past week, it's funny because when I came back to Malaysia, I still have some coursework in hand, and then I am not those kind of people which are hardworking and then future looking. I guess that's the term. So I tends to procrastinate, and then by now I've completed two assignments, one left, and then it's supposed to be submitted by 10th of May. But now, I think I'm around 20% progress, which I do know that next week we have quite a few holidays, so I'm figuring out how can I just get my ass off into completing all this assignment. Hopefully,
especially when I'm beside you, then.
Yeah. Usually when we're together, we tend to have a lot other activities instead of doing work. But hopefully I will just squeeze out some time where we try to get some work done, even though there's a lot of holidays next week. So yes, but what about you, Vereen? What happened this past week?
Actually, after coming back from Penang, there's not really any interesting thing that happened. But
Things are interesting when you say it's interesting.
okay.
I'm just kidding. I just felt like teasing you.
Yeah, but I didn't expect this week to be such a hectic week for me for my work. But it turns out like yeah, yesterday I'm like super tired. But I wouldn't say I'm physically tired. I can still I mean physically I'm still okay, but my brain is totally not working at all.
Okay. I kind of get that. I understand.
Yeah. When I say something, I mix two words up together and say it, but I don't think it's a problem or what. After a few seconds, I'm like, okay, what did I just say?
Okay. I understand that. I get it.
Yeah. So, I'll say there's a few like sudden changes. No, okay, can say sudden changes in Malaysia especially for the community that I'm work with. Then we have a lot of urgent and sudden work that need to be done. Then my plans just messed up, and there's a lot more stuff to be done after that. Yeah, then that just like okay, oh my god, my brain is not working now. So yeah, just like things just happen out of nowhere, and you just have to deal with it. And I guess it's kind of related to our topic today, right?
Yeah. But yeah, like I just want to mention that. Oh my god, it's quite a nice scenery outside. Even though, because now I'm in my back in my Malaysia room. But even though it's I'm back in my Malaysia bedroom, but it's not the one which I recorded the podcast back then, because back then I do record it at kind of like my workspace ish. And now in my bedroom we get to see where we're just like right in front of a window where we get to see the view of actually a concrete wall, because like they have this like kind of concrete wall thing to prevent landslides and all this. And then now it's quite nice, and where I can just now while Ernchi's brain Varine's brain is not working really well. I was just looking at the birds, and then it's quite nice like looking at them flying around. But yeah, sorry back to the topic. Just now you're talking about like, oh, there's just a lot of things, especially connected to your community, which just happens, and it kind of mess things up. And yes, indeed, it is totally related to our topic today, which is, should we be comfortable of not being in control? Because normally, us as humans, it's quite funny. We try to be comfortable with things. That's why, then once we're comfortable, then it makes it easier, and we kind of like doing those things, and then it makes life easier lah. Like mentally, you won't be so stressed, you won't be so anxious and all that. But the thing is, there's this thing about growth. If you are comfortable with something, it means that you're not actually growing, because you're kind of like in your comfort zone. That's why they always say that, oh, you should like step out of your comfort zone, because that's where you actually start to learn how to be comfortable with a new thing again, and that is where the growth comes in. So today we are just asking ourselves, should we be comfortable with not being in control? So starting with that, let me ask you, Varine, what is your most recent experience of feeling uncomfortable, as in like this growth part, where you are kind of you felt like you're kind of forced into learning something, forced into trying to find comfort within something that you're doing?
Oh my god.
There's no God here.
I mean, I saw this coming, but I just haven't got an idea what is the most recent.
You know why do I tend to ask all this question?
Why?
Because if I ask all this question, you will be the one answering, and then I would have the time to think, or I will have the time. That's the thing that when you're even in I think what do you call that? I think sometimes, because we're in this COVID pandemic era, there's online discussion and all that. They throw in the breakout room. I tend to be, sometimes I just be the one that just speak up. I spit up some facts, because once I spit it out, at least I've done it. Even though this is a terrible thing, I can't. It's kind of like the mindset where I just try to get things done for the sake of doing it. But then that's exactly why sometimes I just started and then sometimes I would just come out again, because that just makes me kind of like it creates a better status of me in that breakout room whereby I have already shared enough and now I should give other people the chance to share it. Yeah. But yeah, like, okay, back to you. So what's your most recent experience of not feeling comfortable?
Okay, I think I got one. Yeah, as you're planning to stay in UK for your future, and most likely I'm going as well. But
Oh my god, you're going? I didn't know that.
hello.
I mean, the audience didn't know that, so yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
like
I
I'm
mean-
reacting as if I'm the audience. Like, oh my god, Varun is heading to the UK. Oh my god, that's amazing.
I mean, we planned together that I'll go as well, but there's just some factors that is out of my control. I just can't do anything at all.
But now you found a solution to it, which is amazing. Why? Come on, why?
Okay, so yeah, I think that's when I really feel very, can I say nervous, or I'm just not confident at all. I feel like maybe something will just happen and I can't really go, or something just happened that maybe it affect my life. Maybe I can still go, but it somehow affect my life or my relationship with some people here in Malaysia or something like this. Yeah, that's really something that makes me worried. But I guess so far everything is still fine. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand that because I've basically gone through what you have been through, but not exactly because you're applying there, and then I'm kind of like I'm guaranteed there, just like there's some procedure and all that. Because what happened last year was that the thing is I took a gap year. I think I mentioned that a few times, and then what happened was that my gap year procedure wasn't exactly complete. So by that time, there was still some confusion and all that. And then there was one particular contact from the UK that they came and find me and talked about this issue where the thing wasn't exactly completed, but actually it's quite a smooth process. But just that I actually like everything, no matter what issue you face, most likely that you eventually be able to solve it, just because sometimes you've never faced such trouble before and it's quite a rare thing. You have no one you can refer to. That's why you feel a bit scared, you feel a bit uncomfortable, you think of all the terrible scenarios that might happen, and that happened to me as well. Like I'm thinking, oh my god, would there be any problem, when I go to UK, I wouldn't be able to continue with my course and all this, I wouldn't be able to graduate and all this. And luckily, yep, that did not happen. I mean, like now I'm approaching, I mean, I haven't graduated. That could still happen, but I don't know. I guess after going through such a long time, I mean, like now it's like 7 months into my study, and then like it's just like within the next month I'll be completing all my presentations and assignments and exams. So by that time I mean that's the end of my whole semester year. So I suppose there's not much problem, but just sometimes when this kind of things happen, yeah, you just feel uncomfortable because like, oh, what can happen? But then actually eventually when you go through it, it's actually okay. Or worst case, worst case, we kind of just need to have the expectation whereby it would not end up, because like of course we have our optimal expectation whereby things can happen smoothly and within the time limit, and then with the result we like. And sometimes we just have to sacrifice a few parts. Like, oh, maybe it won't happen so fast. It wouldn't have such great result, but eventually it will just get solved somehow. And this just kind of reminds me of that. And there's this. I don't really watch Young Sheldon. I'm not sure if have you heard of Big Bang Theory? Yeah, Big Bang Theory. There's one of the main character which is quite popular, and then they made that character is called Sheldon, and then they just made another TV series out of that guy called Young Sheldon when he's younger, and then because he is quite a how do I say it? I don't know. Should I consider autistic? I'm not sure if it's autistic. He's terrible at social interaction. But he's a very smart guy. And then, so I think at the age around when we are heading to middle school, he's already heading to university. And then he's really afraid of that. And then, because he actually has a sister, I'm not sure older or younger, but just like, I think 1 or 2 years difference between them. And so she actually just asked that sister, like, I'm afraid, I'm not sure if I should actually go to university, because he actually just completed high school and then he's supposed to be going to middle school only. and her sister would just say that, I agree that it is scary, but then sometimes in this life we just have to do things, even though I forgot what's the exact term, but the meaning is kind of just that sometimes we just have to be scared but still do it anyways, because that's just life, I guess. Like, even though we are scared, there's kind of no way to just overcome that scariness. If you don't do it, that scariness will still remain. You just have to do it and then realize that, okay, maybe it is scary, or maybe it's not that scary after all. But actually, maybe I should I think maybe I ventured a bit too far. But regarding my experience of not being comfortable, I mean, that's one of the example which I shared just now of taking a gap year, not completing the procedure, worrying that I won't be able to actually study and all that. That's one thing. And then there's actually several other things, especially during I'll talk about something closer, like this year. So this year when I was doing my FYP and all that, because at one point, I don't know, FYP, this thing is just, I kind of chose the wrong topic. So it's not something that I'm really interested in, and then I don't really want to work on it. And then at one point I was really, really afraid that I might fail. That's why. And that kind of just demotivates everything. It's just like a very, very scary thing right in front of me, which I'm not willing to approach. But eventually, by now, I mean, I've submitted my dissertation, so everything went well. But I wanted to go and ask what will happen if I fail and all that. Just kind of give me a kind of expectation, worst case scenario, something like that. I mean, I didn't do that. I should have done that, but I think like last week or something, I kind of just found out that at their I think the worksheet, I guess the individual dissertation worksheet at the last line or something, they say that, so if you fail, you just have to do your whole individual dissertation within the 3 months where students are taking receipt and all that. Okay, it's not that bad after all. I mean, even if I fail any of the exam right now, I can just complete that. And another thing is that it's actually quite unlikely that we'll fail, because not that we are not doing anything, and then we know that our stuff has some have some level of worthiness, so it won't fail something. Sometimes, I don't know. So those are like a few of my uncomfortable experience.
And just when you talk about those, actually I thought of something like some people might just because things that are out of their control seem so scary, and you just don't feel like you can do it. Then some people tend to avoid things as much as they can. So every time, whenever they encounter something that is hard for them or that is out of their control, they tend to like, oh no, I can't. Then I just skip. Then eventually, at the end of the day, they can't achieve anything at all. But somehow, some people might blame others or blame the environment, but forget to reflect that maybe they should just give it a try.
Yeah. I think that one thing is maybe, especially I guess in the Asian community, we are very worried and we are very afraid of this thing, which we call failure, or we just have to. I'm generally just failure. We're just afraid of failure because it looks like a very embarrassing thing. It looks like the end of the world and all that. But in fact, sometimes it's just like the feel bad, the internal feeling where we are afraid if we do this, we'll feel bad because the effort that our parents have put in and all this. Like, I can totally fail my university and all this, and then I know for a fact, of course, I probably wouldn't be able to stay in the UK, but then I still can find a work and everything with things I know. But of course, obviously, I don't want to spend like the 100,000 ringgit my parents have spent in this course, something like that. So therefore, I'm not willing to do this. But then sometimes I think failing is totally okay, because like everything, you learn from everything, right? Like just like how I got scam money a bunch of times, even from my friends. Not from my friends, as in even like experience from my friend that lost a lot of money and all this. These are actually huge failures and all this. But then when, of course, sometimes it can be a really big thing whereby if you really need the money and then you lose all of them, that'll be terrible, because maybe you have a family to feed or something. But since you are young and all this, we still have the one of the most valuable thing in the world, which is youth, and we can still work to earn that money back. And so losing those money, of course, it's not something that we definitely want. It's not something that's enjoyable. It probably hurts. And then even one of my friend, what he did is that he actually took 3 days to sit there and reflect on his actions and all that.
That's
so
actually nice.
Yeah, that's why when I'm not sure if I mentioned that I got scammed 4,000 ringgit, around like 700 something pounds, selling a mobile phone through Gumtree in the UK. And then I thought of that because the first thing I think about is that maybe I should take 3 days to reflect on it, but I did not. But I still got over it. And I mean, it's experience like this, even though it's terrible, of course it's embarrassing, as in like some people will say, oh my god, why you're so stupid and all that. But I guess starting from us, we should just change that. When this happens to someone else, we shouldn't say that they're stupid on it. Instead, we should see if they need any help, and then that's the main thing. And if it happens to you, you should see this as an opportunity to grow, because you kind of realize something, and you need to know that if you don't fail this time, there's still a possibility for you to fail in the future. So it's good for you to fail this time around, which and you lose less, because let's say if I don't get scammed this time around, maybe in the future, 10 years in the future, I might get scammed for like 100,000 or a million, and that'll be worse, obviously, because I'll be losing a lot more money.
Yeah, and actually, I thought of one example which is related to one of my patients. Yeah, I don't know why. It's a very challenging patient for me, because yeah, I just feel like it's super hard for me to build rapport with him, and then whatever he's demanding from us, of course we can't provide. But no matter how I try my best to explain to him, he just can't accept it. Yeah, and then sometimes he would throw his tantrum towards me, and yeah, that just makes me feel like, am I a failure or something, that I just can't manage this patient in a good way or something. Yeah, it affected me emotionally at all. But at the end of the day, if I look back at it, well, that's out of my control. That's his life, and I've already given him what I can, and what we as in my organization can do for him. But he can't accept it, or he just have some other reason that he prefers something else. Then yeah, why is it my fault now? yeah he don't like me, then okay, fine. I'm not here for you to like me also. yeah then yeah, but at the beginning it really affected me. Like, I feel so bad, I'm not doing a great job or something. But to be honest, I think I did what I should. yeah. And another thing is that can you don't distract me?
Okay, continue, sorry.
Another thing is that when you're sharing that, I thought of something maybe. Another thing is, when we encounter something that is not in our control, after some time, we should also manage our own expectation towards it. Like, you already know that the best situation is not going to happen. Maybe something else will happen, and yeah, if you still keep your expectation that high, at the end of the day, no matter if it's a good result, just that it's not up to what you have expected, you still feel sad. Yeah, but if you can really accept that this thing is out of your control. You can just do what you can and wait for the result. Maybe when the result turned out in a good way, it makes you happy and you appreciate that instead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. And yeah, that's actually very true. I mean, I quite agree with what you said about your patient as well. Yeah, I mean, for the patient as well, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They just didn't realize that there are some things that are not part of their control. I mean, whatever that is in your control is that maybe you can leave, if you feel frustrated, you can just leave this whole thing. But of course, like not a recommendation. I mean, like I believe Warren is definitely trying to help, but just people are looking at different perspectives. You're looking from your organization perspective, and then they're looking from their own perspective, and then definitely from your side you have a lot of restriction as well, not just by the company, by the country as well. But yeah, just now you said you talked about something. Yeah. I mean, the thing about what you said about managing expectation and all this is that I recently there's this actually I didn't really read the whole comic, but then I saw one page and I totally agree with it. So this Instagram page called The Woke Salaryman, it's actually a Singaporean comic artist which got popular from he literally got viral from his first comic. So quite lucky for him, but he does deserve the recognition because he does produce really, really good educational and mostly financial educational comic. And one of his recent comic is about you have to be in order to be enlightened, you have to be pissed. So I guess that's kind of thing as well. So what you said just now, managing expectation, because before we realize that we need to manage expectation, usually we go through the stage where we like, oh no, we just want the best thing and everything, and then we realize we can't do that. You realize, and then you know that you have to manage expectations. Some people just don't accept that, and then they keep going with whatever they think that is possible. But then I think sometimes it's just literally like this, whereby you will be pissed that you can't have best of both worlds, but then still, because you're pissed, you're really, really pissed about this, but it's because you're pissed that it makes you accept the fact that, okay, I actually have to manage expectation, and that is what makes you enlightened. So it is actually quite true. Like, in order to be enlightened, you have to be pissed at one point, and then you just have to be comfortable with this fact, and then eventually you don't get pissed anymore. So look at the two birds out there. I think back then they had the nest in one of our trees, and then I actually took care of the bird.
Wow.
I think it's this kind of bird because the butt of the bird is actually yellow, just like these birds. But then, I mean, the mom did kind of come and drop fruits for it and all that. But then I think eventually it dropped into my father's koi pond, and then got sucked into one of the tubes that went into the filter and died in there. My dad didn't tell me that. I think I was age 12, and then I really liked that bird. I was really sad that day when the bird is gone, and then because that time I was going to have my exam as well, so my dad didn't tell me that the bird died. They just said so. I mean, the day I cried, no one knew what I was at. We literally just thought that it flew away. It's a few days after that my dad realized in the filter that there was a bunch of feather and all that, so you kind of know what happened but then it didn't tell me until years after that. But I guess now let's go back to the main question. So I guess we kind of implied the answer, but still I want to ask, so should we be comfortable with not being in control?
I believe it's kind of hard for us to be comfortable with not being in control. But anyhow, at the end of the day, if you want to continue living a good life, like you're not constantly worrying about something that you actually already expected what is going to happen, then you can try to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure you won't be 100% comfortable with it, but maybe at the end of the day you will be. Just that it takes time for you to slowly adapt and think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I mean, there is it's okay to be uncomfortable with not being in control, and then you can choose to be uncomfortable with not being in control. And therefore you choose to always be in control, as in like one of your colleague, where she have an ideal comfortable life that she doesn't want to be too ambitious and all that, have such an amazing life. She just knows okay, I think you have a better way of explaining it.
Okay, you mean the way my colleagues say about
Yeah.
it? Okay, so okay, we were always asked to learn more and be proactive in learning. Yeah, but our work is already a lot. There's a lot of work to do, and sometimes it's not like we are not learning. We have been constantly learning even from our job itself. Yeah. So one of my colleague, and then how should I address?
Zach.
No, like it's not him.
Huh? Zach lah. Zach. Zach.
No,
Like,
it's X.
Oh, X. Is
Okay.
X? Is it X? Okay, sorry.
X. So X.
Lady X.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Lady X. Okay, Lady Zach and Lady Zach told that.
Okay, sure.
No. I mean
The what?
the person that has more power.
Oh, that one you just lady whatever lah. Lady whatever and then lady whatever lah.
Okay, that's actually a man whatever. Okay.
Oh, it's a man.
Okay, the man whatever has always tell us, you have to learn more. Yeah, you have to learn more in order to become like me. Yeah, but okay, we recognize that he's really he's successful in his own way, and but anyhow, my colleague, which is I'll call her as Lady Zach. Lady Zach told one day when we were just talking, then Lady Zach told that, well, actually, I don't want to be like him. I just want to live my life now. I'm happy with it. It's not that I'm not learning, just that I didn't want to go through whatever he go through to be the top person in the field. I'm okay with living whatever I'm living the level that I'm in now.
Yeah. So basically, generally just whether you want to be comfortable with not being in control or you just want to remain being uncomfortable with not being in control, is up to your choice. Basically, up to your expectation and all that. Whatever you want to achieve, like obviously, if you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire, it's most likely that you need to be comfortable with not being in control. That's where you learn to grow and all that. And unless, like, who knows, maybe you're a kid of a billionaire, then maybe you can inherit their riches and all that. Then that will be different. But yeah, like, generally depends on your expectations. So if you prefer to be someone that you still have quite a distance to achieve that, it's most likely that you have to learn to be somewhat comfortable and always grow to be a better person so that you can achieve that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that's it, I guess. Do you have any insights?
Yeah, I think I have one.
Ooh, okay.
Actually, I got this during one of our it's still a learning session. We have 1 hour of those sessions every week, where one of my colleague will teach us. He has a lot of experience lah. Then he will teach us some kind of topics that related to our work. Yeah. So he talked about communication that day, and then he asked me, there's three types of communication. In general. So the first type is like I forget the word. Yeah, I forget the word. Okay, I'll just describe it. Okay, The first step is like you just listen to people and then you say, okay, yes, okay. You just agree to whatever that person say, and you didn't talk anything back. The second step is like you are being very aggressive. That like, okay, imagine you are in a debate. You just keep on like kind of like fighting. I mean, yeah, you just want the opposite person to accept what you're saying.
Okay.
The third type is like you take time to listen to people, but then you give your own opinion as well, but in a very nice way.
Okay.
Yeah. So he asked me, which type of communication is the best? So I choose the third one.
I would choose the third one as well.
Yeah. But then after some time, I think I kind of like agree to his view, because he say actually there's no one best way in communication, because sometimes depending on the situation, maybe today the some authority like police is at your place, and then you still and ask you to leave a place immediately or something, then you say no. No, I don't like the way you say this to me. Then only you say, I'm willing to do it, but I don't like the way you say things to me. But do you think they will continue speaking to you in a very nice way, or they just want to get you away and finish their job first?
Yeah. So I get it. Okay.
So the example that he gave is something similar to this, and I kind of agree that actually we always say that we want to improve communication and all, but sometimes we forget to take in the factor, which is the environment and the situation at the moment.
Yeah. That's true. Okay. All right.
You?
Okay, that's true. I mean, I don't really have any insights. My brain has been empty of insights since maybe probably a month ago. I don't think I'm not sure if about our recent podcast episode. Have I have any insights? But recently no insights. So yes.
Okay, then I guess it's the end of this episode, and thank you everyone for listening. If you have any comments or any feedback, feel free to drop us a message in any of the social media platform or email us will do. Yeah. Anything else that I missed?
You haven't ended properly.
Okay. Okay. If you wait, what did I say? Oh my god.
Yeah, just repeat the whole thing. It's okay. The listener who listen to this point will probably just continue listening.
Okay. Anyway, thank you everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye-bye.